All right, Court, so, we're gonna kind of rewind a little bit here, starting out. And what we're gonna see here is we see a lot of good stuff that we've talked about. One stance is just a touch wide. If we look at inside to inside, we do want to have that only as wide as your hips. You can see that that's just a little bit wider. From behind, we look pretty good. Everything's a little in line. We're a little crowded in space, so it looks like you're a little bit closed, but you're not. That all looks pretty good. I've drawn this line here, this yellow line, to show kind of where, if you can picture the back of your belt buckle here, the front of your belt buckle here, and how that flattens out as it comes down, and we kind of coined it as butt suck, where that, and that's something, if we're going to be a better striker of the ball, that has to be kind of a focus on us. And I think what you're going to be doing in the off season with the yoga, and we want to really work on hamstring flexibility, strengthen your lower body, strengthen your core to be able to hold that tilt in your belt. We don't want to see that type of change. We want to see these similar, and that's going to keep our weight centered on our feet, improve our balance quite a bit, and you can just do some medicine ball stuff, but looking at it at impact, face on now in the bottom left, is we see something that, you kind of alluded to, that you want to see a little bit more power. And here is where we picture that clock, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And where's your club pointing right now? Over to 5 o'clock. So this is where the main power leak is in your golf swing. So if we just zoom in on that one, and we're going to go ahead and take it through the motions. Again, setup's good, just a little wide. There we see Court moving onto that right post like we talked about. That's good stuff. As we turn back, that's really good. Backs to the target. Shaft, yeah, maybe just a touch low, but nothing real crazy. And then we see, when you go away from it a little bit, we're seeing a little bit of that leak. Now, so why your other shots would get heavy is because of where you release it. So we're seeing the golf club in your left arm form the letter L. And as it comes down, when that straightens out, we want that to be hitting the golf ball, which is going to be about right here. Or what we're doing is releasing it just a touch early. And that's why we see that little flip and a little pass. It gives you what's called spin loft, where the ball goes up in the air real high because of your adding loft to the club, which is going to increase the spin of the ball. And when your ball's spinning real fast, faster than it should, it's not going to go as far. Does that make sense to you, lift and drag?
Yeah.
So the more spin the ball has, the shorter it's going to go. It's easier to hit it straight. We want to get our spin with speed. In order to get that speed, we've got to be able to work on maintaining that angle. And that's really what we want to do looking forward to get our average. Let's just say, we want to average 75. 75, that means we've got to hit a few more greens. Really, if we hit 4 more greens around, that's going to change your average significantly, because you're not going to miss as many strokes just not hitting your up and downs. And part of the reason is you miss greens is not because of your golf swing. It's just a wedge is going to beat a 7-iron, not some of the time, not most of the time, but almost all the time. And we want to be able to get you to where you're hitting shorter clubs. So when you're playing these high school events, as you're really getting forward to college golf, is we want you to be able to be the dominator. And to be the dominator, we don't want to be hitting rescues and long irons into these par 4s and the other girls aren't. So speed needs to be one of our goals, and that strength and conditioning stuff that you're doing is going to allow all that stuff to happen. We're going to be able to generate more lag as your body gets stronger, as you're able to hold that pelvis tilt, as you're able to get the leak out. And then we'll see a significant change in power and control. We just don't want to hit it far and go all over the place. We want to have that golf ball under control as well. So as we take the club back and we narrow up just a little bit, as the club comes down, when our left arm is parallel to the ground, we're going to want to see the butt of the club pointing on the right side of the ball. And what that's going to allow us to do, it's going to allow us to be a good late hitter. And if we're a late hitter in golf, that means that we're storing up the energy on that golf club for a long time, and then where that club straightens, we want this to happen at the ball. And I'm sure you feel it a lot of times. You get to here, and then you're just kind of holding on as it goes through. So that, you know, the physics of it, it's going to be moving its fastest once we release that energy. And we need to have that happen at the ball. So our, you know, our checkpoint as we go through this is the next frame down. I'd like to see that club pointed to the right versus there where we're already starting to throw it. So you can see what would happen with a short club. Yeah, keep coming down, keep coming down. There you go. And then there would be no way to throw it early. Right, so when we look at someone like Brandt Snedeker, we see as it goes up, he's on his right post, the club's set. And when that arm is even a little bit beyond. So what we see is when that left arm and the club straightens, so Courtney at this point, the club is out here. So the energy is spent, you've set it and you released it to here. So now the club is no longer accelerating. But here we're going to see that straightening of the lever happens at the golf ball. So in order to do that, we have to be able to, I'll put it on TV so you can see it. So we're going to narrow up just a touch more, Court, that's it. Now go ahead and take it up to the top. Good. Now show me that move where you're just dropping your arms down. There we go, and now we can see that even with your left arm passer, that's the good feel. Now slow it down right to impact. Keep going. And right there is left arm perpendicular on that club back. Very nice. So if we can do it at 1 mile an hour, we can do it at 80 miles an hour, right? It's just going to take practice.